how's it going?
Oh, fine.
It's going.
Fantastic.
We're just sitting discussing aliens, different types of aliens, you know.
Oh, okay.
And this kind of thing. It's very nice to meet you, sir.
Hey, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you both.
I was waiting. I thought I was going to say something to you. You know. But yeah, I've been really looking forward to tonight. This is going to be an absolutely fantastic interview tonight. I'm actually got a few questions there that I want to ask you about our little ET friends and stuff like that, and strange things that's going on in the world, you know.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I have a lot of stories to tell, so don't, we won't be bored.
And it's also good too that you can understand what I'm saying.
Oh yeah,
Because nobody can.
Now is that an Irish accent?
Oh God. Oh no.
I'm Scottish.
You're Scottish. I've been to Edinburgh.
You've been to Edinburgh?
Yeah. I went to London, Edinburgh, Wales, and I went to Ireland, and I went to Northern Ireland. I went to Newry, Northern Ireland.
Yeah. Is this where you work when you worked in Army Intelligence?
Oh yeah, military intelligence. Yes.
Military. It's quite strange because, as I was saying in Dakota, because in my side of the family, I'm allowed to talk about it now. My uncle, which is sadly he passed away, but
I'm sorry.
that's what he did. He's actually getting buried next Wednesday actually. But he's actually he was a colonel, and he was a Met intelligence.
Oh, okay.
And he was in Germany. He was in Ireland. And he worked at the submarine pens in Scotland and stuff like that. So he had a lot to the MI5 and stuff like that.
Wow. Yeah, I was stationed in Nuremberg, Germany.
Yeah. My uncle told me about where he used to work. It was like a kind of in Germany. You can still go there to this day. It's a kind of tourist attraction. It was one of the radar stations. It was famous for a certain type of radar. They used to like listening in to the Russians and stuff.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
He used to work there. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you guys, if you want to, you can ask me about my military intelligence background, and I can tell you a few stories about that. And it has to do with UFOs.
Right. That's something that I always wanted to ask somebody. Good, obviously, the military and stuff like that. They can look up and ask some questions like that.
And how did you guys find me?
It was my pal here.
Oh, okay.
When I sent out the invites to come on the show, I kind of sent mass emails, to be completely honest.
Oh,
with you.
okay.
I think it's going to be really interesting because you don't usually get to speak to ex-military intelligence. Yeah. I take it you've signed certain things you can't talk about.
Actually, I talk about everything because if they arrest me, then they'd be admitting the truth, so, yeah. And I've written articles about it and everything else, so.
So if you disappear one night, you'll be fine.
Yeah, well, no what happened. Okay, so one of us disappears, we know what happened. It's this guy's fault. I'll be fine, that's long ago.
Now, you guys are in LA, right? You're in Los Angeles?
No, I'm actually in Idaho. He's actually out of Lanarkshire.
I'm in Scotland.
Oh, you're in...
I'm about 30 miles from Edinburgh.
Okay, Scotland and Idaho.
Yeah.
Okay, alright.
So there you go. So shall we take it off, Dakota? Take us into the strange and unusual zone?
Of course. Well, I'll go ahead. We'll just hit a short little intro, then we'll just jump right into it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Bald and Bonkers Show. Join your hosts Christopher Mole and Dakota Franson as they take you on a wild ride through the world of the supernatural, with a humorous twist that'll have you laughing and shaking in your boots at the same time. From ghosts to aliens to cryptids, no topic is off limits on this show. And the best part? You don't have to be a believer to join in on the fun. So grab a drink, kick back, and tune in every weekend for new episodes. And if you want even more of the Bald and Bonkers experience, be sure to subscribe to our Patreon page for exclusive content you won't find anywhere else. Let's get weird. Oh, and for the whiners out there, viewer discretion is advised. There you go, you entitled pricks.
Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another awesome show. This is probably going to be one of our best ones yet, without a doubt. We're welcoming Paul Dale Roberts. He's worked Army intelligence. He's done several investigations. And right now, when it comes to the UFO topic, nothing's getting hotter right now. So thank you so much for coming on board.
Oh, thank you so much, Dakota.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Christopher.
Great. So, Chris, you wanted to start, or?
Well, I was just going to say, Paul, could you tell us a little bit about your background and how you go about your Army intelligence days, just a little bit, so we can open it up for the audience?
Oh, sure. From 1973, 1976, I was in the U.S. Army. I was an MP, military policeman, and I was working undercover narcotics for the Drug Suppression Team CID Criminal Investigation Division. So I did that for a while. Then I got out for 3 years. So I had a 3-year break. During that time, believe it or not, I became the Disco King of Sacramento. I danced 205 hours, Yeah.
He told me.
Yeah.
He told me that you were into that.
Yeah.
Oh, this has got to be great.
So I danced 8.5 days. 8.5 days with a 5-minute break on every hour for the Guinness Book of World Records. And for, I was in Ripley's Believe It or Not. So anyone, if you guys don't want to believe it, all you have to do is Google Paul Dale Roberts Disco and you'll see it. But 1979, after disco died, and I knew my dancing career was going downhill, I joined the Army again, and I went military intelligence. I was a 97 Bravo intelligence analyst, and I went to school at Fort Huachuca, Arizona, and I was stationed at Photo Interpretation Center in Korea, PICK, at Yongsan Barracks, at the 501st Military Intelligence Group. And during that time, working at the Photo Interpretation Center in Korea, on one particular day, 6 photographs came in. And on these 6 photographs were pictures of different type of UFOs. And they were part of a bigger picture, a video of these UFOs taken by our reconnaissance satellites and reconnaissance aircraft. And on the back of the photograph, it said intelligent movement. So that tells me that after Project Blue Book was closed down in 1969, the military was still interested in UFOs. And the photographs were everything from a disc shape, triangular shape, something that looked like a globe, something that looked like ball lightning. It was like a ball of electricity. You had a cube. And so with these UFOs, I knew that at that part of time, that military intelligence was still investigating UFOs, and that we were not alone. So that was very interesting.
Can I ask, was there any like higher ups ever told you, listen, says, don't talk about this subject, don't ever talk about this subject? Did anybody ever commanded anybody like suspicious looking, like the Men in Black or anything like that kind of thing? Ever like civilian looking would come around when these things were showing up?
No, I mean, I was never visited by the Men in Black.
Right.
Yeah, but here's the interesting thing: is that at the 38th parallel in Korea, we actually had to wear black suits. We couldn't wear any kind of insignia indicating that we were military intelligence because we could get arrested on the spot. So in turn, we were the Men in Black. So and you walked around the table and you're in the North Korean side. So and what's so funny about that is that when we did that little field trip to the 38th parallel, they tell you don't touch the table, don't put anything on the table. And I was taking photographs, and I put my camera on the table, and my captain came up to me and he goes, "Are you trying to get an international incident here? You're going to be arrested for putting that camera on that side of the table." It was like, I wasn't even thinking. It was like, oh my God. But during my time with military intelligence, I worked with image interpreters. And so they could tell you like a little dot was a T-72 tank, and we were studying North Korea and Red China. And we would go in an unmarked vehicle, and you can travel as fast as you can. No policeman will stop you. You had a little play card on the car, says do not stop this vehicle for any reason. And we would go to Osan Barracks to get the hot rolls. And the hot rolls were the film taken by our reconnaissance aircraft. And I would have one half the combination to open up the trunk of the car, and the driver, he would have the other combination to open up the trunk. And then there was a suitcase with me again having one half of the combination, and he would have one half of the combination, and open up the suitcase and put the hot rolls in. So there was one other particular day too that came in, and this doesn't have anything to do with UFOs, but we're talking about 1981, and a photograph came in. It looked like an American being escorted by Vietnamese soldiers, the Viet Cong, and this is 1981, and on the back of the photograph it said POW ? So, and then later on in the newspaper said that our special forces knew about POWs still in Vietnam in 1981. And I held I'm sorry.
That is very, very. I was just going to say it's very interesting that because I have watched documentaries like how there were POWs still in totally after the Vietnam War. But what stresses me back to back to North Korea for a second. North Korea is so locked up, as everybody knows. And I remember that thing, Dakota maybe don't remember it, but I know that you will, Paul. Remember the time it was the US military was at a spy plane? It had to land in Korea. and it actually went through, they wanted it back, but obviously the North Koreans struck it down and took it apart and then said, obviously we looked at it. It's something like North Korea, there's not much information comes out of there. And it makes you wonder what UFOs or what strange things that they have encountered.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's just a lot of things going on. We did Operation Tango, and we were taken on a bus, and they blacked out the windows, so we couldn't see where we were going. But we went inside a mountain, deep into a mountain, and it was a listening post for North Korea and Red China. So as soon as you got in there, you saw these type of computers, listening devices, and that's what we did. We're inside this mountain. Where it was, I don't know, but yeah, and you have to have a need to know. So like I had to work in one room, and I didn't know what was happening in the other room, and I wasn't allowed. There was like a MP, military policeman, that would not allow you to go into the other room because you didn't have a need to know. So I don't know what they were doing in the other room. I just knew what we were doing in my room.
Yeah, I've heard of this. It's like, for instance, like the iPhone factory. Like, there's different sections of buildings, right? And nobody knows what's happening in the next part of the building. So you're doing your thing, whereas there might be a guy in the next room with like satellite photos, and then there might be a guy in the next room with like maybe listening devices. It's a very interesting place, the North Korean border, because I do know that South Korea is still to this day at war with them. What I've been told, they're no shooting at each other. Well, now and again they fire like a missile over each other, but it makes you wonder anything like ET related has ever happened in North Korea. To your knowledge, do you think there's been any ET related stuff happened in North Korea?
The only thing is that my job was just to be concerned about if there was any kind of build-up. It looks like, some kind of intention for war. But and we would look at these SIP maps, and they would be marked. And during my time there, all I saw was training, a lot of training, but nothing that was a threat to us. Yeah.
So, being that the UFO topic is such mainstream nowadays, what are your thoughts on some of the Department of Defense's remarks lately, like that there's a mothership that's close to Earth and all these UFOs may actually be some kind of probes scouting us out for some big event here in the near future?
Yeah, I think that we're actually getting very close to disclosure, because you have all these private corporations that are talking about, hey, we're going to colonize Mars by 2050 or whatever. And with everything coming so close, and with these private organizations that they don't really seem to have control of, like Elon Musk, I don't think they have control over him. And with that said, things are going to start opening up, and the military is starting to open up already. It's like when they're shooting down the UFOs, and they were saying it was cylinder type shape, and they don't know how it was aloft. They're like giving you hints that it's coming from somewhere else, and the only answer to that is that it probably comes from a mothership. They're probably sending out their drones. They're observing Earth, and it's just a matter of time when all this information is going to come out, and they're going to say, yeah, we're not alone, and we were never alone.
Do you think, being in the military and stuff, do you think that the government, say, I'll just pick one off, USA, the US government, would you say that they've got a plan ready for like an alien invasion? Would you say they've got a plan ready to roll the day that comes out?
I don't ever think there'll be an alien invasion or anything like that.
No.
I think the extraterrestrials jump-started mankind. They're observing us. I don't think they would ever allow, let's say, a nuclear conflict, because you had all these type of UFOs in England and in United States and even in Russia, who shut down these nuclear facilities. So they have that capability. So I don't think they'll let us destroy ourselves. Plus, I think they have a lot of UFO bases in the oceans, in mountains, and everything else. And a lot of my studies, it appears that, like Mount Shasta,